Every day, hundreds of thousands of patrolmen report for duty, armed with a badge and the latest in video technology. You are about to witness their never-before-seen footage, their stories caught on tape. Now on Disorderly Conduct, Miata Madness in Utah. Truck versus truck in Texas. And fists are flying in New York. From the mountains to the sea, it's time to get fired up for Disorderly Conduct. If your last name is Christmas, people expect you to be someone special. Tonight, Deputy Fallen Christmas will live up to those expectations.
He's almost hit several cars.
The Jacksonville, Florida officer tails an erratic driver through the north side of the city.
Northbound, headed towards Atlantic.
Suddenly, the 18-year-old driver pulls a donut in this intersection. Next, he guns it and goes for take two. Then, he takes aim directly at the deputy. He misses the cruiser by mere inches, and now the chase is on. The SUV flies down the rain-slicked road with Deputy Christmas in hot pursuit. The kid has a healthy head start. But the 40-year-old veteran cop is not about to let him get away. A couple of turns later, flames can be seen on the side of the road.
Stand by, I got a car fire or something on the side.
Yes, that's the crashed SUV, fully engulfed in flames.
Looks like he's crashed.
The lone officer pulls up to the scene as he calls for backup.
68. He's on fire.
Without protective gear, Deputy Christmas tries to save the life of the teen who just tried to kill him.
Come on, get out! I'm getting out. Get out! Come on! Come on! Come on! Hurry up! My right ankle. Get out! You're gonna burn to death! Come on!
Good Samaritans come to help.
My superpower's got me. Come on!
But it's the cop and the kid who are in the middle of the inferno.
Come on! Come on! I'm sorry, sir. Come on!
The young man is finally pulled from the SUV. But all know that the gas tank could blow at any second.
Is anybody else in there? No, sir.
Anybody else go by yourself?
It's you?
No, go further away.
Soon after more rescue units arrive, explosions rock the night. The fire department works to douse the flames. And the suspect turned victim is back to being a suspect again.
There's a weakness in the body. Well, you're gonna probably feel a lot worse in the morning.
He has to answer to charges ranging from auto theft to assault against a police officer. And he also has to admit that he probably wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for a man named Christmas.
I just want to shake your hand. You saved that guy's life.
We're going to be going westbound 4500 south.
Police tail a suspected stolen car in Salt Lake City, Utah. As they prepare for a high-risk stop, it looks like the driver is going to cooperate, but looks can be deceiving. The sports car suddenly speeds through the intersection, and this is now officially a felony pursuit.
If we can get units to spike.
Two young men are inside the Miata as it races towards the picturesque Wasatch Mountains.
We are 1080.
The driver shows just how desperate he is when he swerves all over the road.
We're now going northbound, correction, eastbound.
With this becoming more dangerous by the second, plans are put into motion for a possible pit maneuver.
Alpha 35 to a sergeant, 1044 to pit if I get the opportunity.
With speeds too high for a safe pit, the drama turns away from the mountains and toward a residential area.
Northbound Highland Drive from 4500 south.
The driver continues to push his luck as he nearly loses it on this turn. The lead officer keeps his cool in the heat of the chase, even as the car swings right in front of him.
Alpha 14 westbound.
Next, the suspect takes one high-speed turn too many and slams into an SUV.
T8.
Then he backs up and intentionally rams the cruiser. Law enforcement converges on the scene, but the driver refuses to give in. The smoking car spins out of control, putting lives on the line. Fearing that his life is in danger, an officer opens fire. An investigation later determines that the shooting was justified since it appeared the suspect was preparing to run over the officer. The critically injured driver is taken to the hospital while the unhurt passenger is yanked from the car and charged with possession of a stolen vehicle. Officers pursue a robbery suspect in a pickup truck in Marshall, Texas. The suspect tears through this neighborhood, but it's going to be a short chase. He slams hard into another truck crossing at the intersection. It's a brutal impact. But somehow the suspect leaps out of the truck and runs on foot. The suspect was captured off camera. Amazingly, the city employee driving the white truck was not seriously injured. For his part in this death-defying chase, the suspect was charged with evading, resisting arrest, and last but not least, disorderly conduct. When disorderly conduct returns, vehicles on the attack, from trucks to cars to vans. Better buckle up. There's lots more disorderly conduct still to come. It's something you rarely see during a police pursuit. Watch closely as this fleeing suspect heads for a cop setting a spike strip. The officer runs for his life as the suspect slams into the parked patrol car. The truck was stolen in Warwick County, Indiana, and the suspect didn't get far. He tried to avoid that spike strip, but got a lot worse than a flat tire. The impact tore a huge gash in the truck and totaled the patrol car. But everyone involved made it through the devastating crash in one piece. The suspect was charged with theft and assault. Turns out he had just gotten out of jail for a hit and run the day before. But this was one big hit he didn't get away with. This convenience store in Prairie Village, Kansas is closed for the night. But the men in this van have other ideas. The van slams through the wall. Then once again, for good measure, knocking down the ATM. The suspects try to budge the ATM, but they figure it needs one more shot. That had some effect. But now the van is stuck on top of the money machine, and there's also some activity on the street. A lone police officer arrives, responding to a call about suspicious activity. The suspects have abandoned both their van and the ATM. More officers are on the scene in minutes, but the suspects have fled into the night. Turns out, the van was stolen, but the ATM was not so easy to steal. Kenansville, North Carolina. That driver up ahead was simply asked to stop for a missing headlight. But perhaps he's also missing a few brain cells because now he's running from the law. The man and his partner race down this rural highway in the eastern part of the state. Suddenly, the guy slams on the brakes, and his buddy decides to split. Next, he hits reverse. Now there's a banged-up cruiser and a ticked-off trooper
1050, just ran me.
tearing through the North Carolina night.
I got damage in the front of my vehicle. I'm gonna try to keep up with him as long as I can. Chris, we took a ride off of Drummondville Road. We're going through a field.
Soon, other officers join the two-county chase.
Outlaw Road, all your free guys on Outlaw Road.
When he hits this dirt road, a mystified motorist wisely pulls over. As the trooper closes in, you can see the car is feeling the effects of the pursuit. When a fellow cop tries to move ahead of the car, the suspect slams those brakes again. Check out this view. Just down the road, he tries to get in the cop's way yet again. But this is the last time. The suspect goes spinning. Then running. He quickly gets that rundown feeling and is captured 50 yards off the highway. And what began as a simple traffic violation results in a 3-year jail sentence for assault with a deadly weapon and felony fleeing. Just seconds away on disorderly conduct, a suspected drug dealer takes a hit And it's fight night in New York. We take the gloves off next on Disorderly Conduct. Easley, South Carolina. Police try to corral an armed and fleeing suspect in a white pickup truck after he reportedly tried to sell a load of methamphetamine to an undercover cop. The boxed-in suspect rams into an undercover officer in a truck. Here's how it looks from the front as another dash cam rolls on the action. Cops surround the suspect, who is still trying to drive off, when an officer fires one shot through the window. The suspect is grazed with a bullet, but he shows no signs of giving up, even as an officer at the passenger door holds him at gunpoint. A virtual army of cops descend on the truck. Still no response from the suspect except to step on the gas. The truck is hung up and can't move. Everyone scatters, but one officer holds steady, aiming a taser gun at the suspect. A cloud of smoke covers the action as the suspect is hit with the taser, then pulled from the truck. He was treated for injuries and jailed the same night. The suspect is charged with possession and sale of narcotics and resisting arrest. No officers were injured in the incident, but not for lack of trying by this dangerous felon. A man shooting home video from his apartment window captures a brutal attack on tape in Albany, New York. A gang of thugs has already knocked out one man and taken his wallet. When the man's friend tries to help, the pack turns on him. The young man falls in the middle of the street and is battered by the gang. When he gets to his feet again, he is brutally knocked down with a bat and sucker punched from behind. He's lying helpless, but it's not over. Another youth smashes him with a trash can. Bystanders taunt the victim as he tries to get to his feet again. Barely able to walk, he manages to find his way off the block. Cops are on the scene moments later with the violent thugs still roaming the street. The victim was removed by ambulance and hospitalized for his injuries. No arrests were made on the night of the attack, but when police got a hold of this video, they went back to the street and went to work. Every single attacker was identified and brought to justice, with at least 2 serving multiple years in prison, all thanks to an alert neighbor who got it all on tape. It's a traffic stop near Van Buren, Arkansas. Then again, maybe it isn't. The driver suddenly decides to pull a 3-point U-turn. Now the lady at the wheel is not only driving away, she's traveling in the wrong direction. Up ahead, you can see the lights of another cruiser that's blocking the road. At first, it looks like the lady might try and swerve around the cop, but then she rolls to a stop. She's quickly blocked in. Seconds later, a couple of cops pay her a visit.
Put that thing in park and shut that car off.
Even though he broke her window, the trooper shows he's both an officer and a gentleman.
Come here, get out of the car, honey. Get out of the car.
Why did I like that?
Hey, I don't know. You okay?
The woman doesn't seem to comprehend what's going on.
realize that I've been trying to stop you for a couple of miles and you almost had a wreck?
It turns out the out-of-state driver is perfectly sober and has no reason to run.
You're in the wrong lane, honey. You're in the wrong lane. Come on out here, okay?
In fact, she's simply disoriented.
Why are you running from me?
But even though she's just out of sorts, she's still in big trouble.
I've been trying to get out of here. Nobody's letting me out.
I've been trying to stop you for several miles now.
She's booked for felony fleeing and for no proof of insurance. As for the officers, they're just glad no one is leaving the scene in a hearse.
Geez, I'm amazed we didn't hit somebody.
There's lots more disorderly conduct straight ahead. A suspected robber flips out. And a trooper delivers some breaking news.
That guy was about to snatch our daughter.
That and a lot more when disorderly conduct comes back. A pursuit and precipitation combined for a volatile mix tonight in Panama City, Florida. It's a rainy evening in this coastal community where an officer chases a suspected robber. The driver allegedly swiped this pickup truck, as well as a couple of cigarette cartons from a convenience store. He doesn't drive that fast, but common sense tells you that these roads are slippery. Then again, criminals aren't exactly known for having common sense. The suspect takes this turn a bit too fast and pays the price. When the driver loses control, he's forced to see the world from a whole new perspective. The officer goes to check on the guy, but he can tell he's not seriously hurt. In fact, the cop decides to strike up a conversation.
You didn't go very far, did you? Get out of the truck, please.
But it isn't all niceties.
Don't even think about running, because I'll let the dog go. Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
The officer then decides this is a good time to make an editorial opinion.
That was really stupid of you to run from me, wasn't it? I was moving around.
Following their little chat, the suspect is removed from the truck and marched to the squad car. He'll be charged with felony fleeing and theft, and maybe in the end, he'll agree with the officer's assessment.
That was really stupid of you to run from me, wasn't it?
In Orange County, Florida, police pursue 4 suspects fleeing in the night. The men are suspected of staging a home invasion robbery within the hour. The heat-seeking camera follows the gang as they speed through this fashionable subdivision.
All right, there's too many cars going crazy. Back off, 2 cars in the pursuit. Everybody else parallel.
Earlier in the pursuit, the car hit a spike strip, and now the effects are showing.
Just losing his tires. It looks like we're going to go south on Hastings.
You can see the Chevy Malibu sparking as it travels slower and slower. Seconds later, the suspects bail in different directions.
Okay, they bailed. The driver is going northwest.
The pilot makes the decision to stick with the driver.
Driver's over a fence, westbound.
The suspect thinks the fleer can't see him climb under a car. He's wrong.
A vacant field just north of those apartments. The one driver is underneath the car.
It isn't long before the driver is held at gunpoint.
Patrol has one at gunpoint.
Within minutes, the other men are captured as well to face felony charges of robbery and eluding arrest. And it's all thanks to the eye in the sky.
Okay, they bailed. The driver is going northwest.
Officers in Springboro, Ohio, try to locate a suspect who fled after trespassing at a nearby home. The woman who made the 911 call explains the situation.
I mean, he was not even a foot from my daughter. And then I yelled and I said, get out here. Honey, that guy was about to smack our daughter.
And just as the woman is about to describe the suspect's car, he returns.
Was that him? Yeah.
When the cops catch up, the suspect doubles back.
Get caught back the other way.
Moments later, the officer comes upon the suspect against a guardrail in the silver car. He crashed after hitting a spike strip set by another officer on the scene. The cop approaches the car with his gun drawn, but this chase isn't over. The suspect sideswipes the pursuing officer and heads down the road with his left front tire falling apart. Suddenly, he slams on the brakes. The suspect gets going again, but can barely stay on the road. Finally, he's off on the shoulder and stopped as cops rush in with guns drawn. The officer breaks through the window, but the suspect takes off out the passenger side. He's later caught after running face first into a tree. He's charged with reckless driving and eluding arrest. Next on Disorderly Conduct, a driver takes this pursuit up a notch. And it's train versus car. Guess who wins?
What's he gonna do?
Hey, come over the door.
Moments away on Disorderly Conduct. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Officers race to catch up with 4 suspected carjackers in East Point, Michigan. Within minutes, the red Mercury is spotted turning toward a residential area. An undercover unit is the lead pursuer as the suspects race through this town east of Detroit. The driver leaves no doubt how he feels about the safety of others.
Long way in the median. He's southbound in the northbound lane.
After he cuts through a gas station, the suspect guns it toward Interstate 94. When he hits the access road, the decision is made to try and knock this quartet out of action. But the wheelman is able to avoid the pit, and the chase heads onto the open highway. As the pursuit races toward Detroit, this is about to become an uphill battle. The car suddenly zooms up an embankment into a clump of trees. Once they hit the top of the hill, the suspects escape on foot. But their freedom won't last long. All 4, including a 13-year-old boy, are quickly captured. They are charged with carjacking and eluding arrest. Security cameras roll as a man walks into a convenience store in Whitney Spur, Louisiana. He wants 4 cartons of cigarettes. The young woman behind the counter is already suspicious. A friend of the man walks in and moments later leaves the store again.
What do you think? Because I was watching on the camera.
You'd think that would be a warning to the man at the counter, as in, don't do anything stupid. But when she returns with the cigarettes, he does it anyway. The cashier immediately hits a button, locking the door so he can't get out. He heads back to the counter, past another customer who stands by and watches events unfold.
What's he gonna do?
Hey, come over the door.
He runs to the door again, calling for a friend to help. Then he's back, leaping over the counter. As he fights to unlock the door, he also grabs a wad of cash sitting underneath the counter. But this brave young lady is putting up a real fight. The door is now unlocked. Meanwhile, the cashier tackles the suspect. He barely gets away, losing his shirt, his hat, and nearly his pants. The woman chases him onto the street, where he makes a getaway in a car. But this is one smart cashier. In all the confusion and panic, she gets his license plate number.
I got the license plate.
She showed a lot of courage, much more than the big guy who watched it all happen.
I ain't been no witness. Out of here. You all right?
I got him on camera. He took my money too.
But because she had the presence of mind to get that plate number, justice is served. The suspect was captured and reportedly charged with robbery. Thanks to a young lady who did not back down. Police pursue a suspected DUI in Jessamine, Kentucky. And it's a pretty smooth pursuit until the suspect tries to run alongside the railroad tracks. It's not easy keeping control while riding on a bed of loose stones. But it was even tougher for the suspect, who got himself hung up on the tracks. Cops get him out at gunpoint. He's taken into custody and booked for DUI, fleeing, and reckless endangerment. A quick chase, a quick arrest. And that would be the end of the little story, except for this. It's too late to stop. A train bears down on the suspect's car and rams it off the tracks, where it explodes into flames. Which brings to mind two more charges: trespassing on railroad property and failure to produce an insurance card. When disorderly conduct comes back, a suspect gets that sinking feeling. And a fashion model is plastered in more ways than one.
They have like alligator bombs.
Sobering new videos are moments away on Disorderly Conduct. A distraught man has driven his car 40 feet into a shallow pond in Rankin County, Mississippi. He's upset after losing his job, and police believe he's been drinking. He broke out the windows with a golf club, and if he's not careful, he could break some bones. He climbs up top again as cops go after him in a boat. An officer fires a taser, and the man goes down hard. It looks like he's out cold, but he's soon back on his feet on dry land. He's put into the back seat of a patrol car and taken to a hospital for evaluation. The suspect was not injured. And thanks to driving into a pond only a few feet deep, nothing worse happened than a jolt from the law. An officer in Lansing, Michigan is parked at the scene of an accident. But there's another accident waiting to happen. Almost. That passing Jeep was way too close for comfort. and this cop is going to get close right back. The suspect gets off the freeway, but he doesn't want to stop. He turns onto a dirt road bordering a cornfield. A perfect place for a pit maneuver. The officer wastes no time lining up for a shot at the guy's bumper. But it's the cop who ends up in the corn. No problem. He gets another shot at it down the road. That looked pretty good, too. Problem is, it didn't work any better than the first time. The suspect gets on the blacktop again, barely keeping control as he hits the gas. And then he's off again into the fields. But when he tries to come out again, he's got a welcoming committee waiting. A second patrol car tries to take the suspect out. The pursuing officer joins in, but the results are still the same. A suspect on the run. Even if it is a little slower this time. The officer has slowed down as he maneuvers around bystanders and down the road and off camera. Backup units finally bring the chase to a halt. The suspect is taken into custody and charged for driving without a license. In the beginning, it looks like a typical car chase in Fort Wright, Kentucky. But this minivan is about to make maximum use of the landscape as the driver tries to outwit the law. He scares pedestrians as he careens over hill and dale. He leads the officer through back lots and backyards. And Mother Nature doesn't make things easy. Another officer trying to intercept the chase can only watch, stunned as the suspect avoids the road at any cost. Yes, this is one big bad minivan. There's nowhere he won't go. But all chases must come to an end, and the van finally ends up stuck at the end of the road. The suspect has bailed, but is later found hiding among the trees, which is still a lot better than driving through them. He was booked for fleeing and on drug possession and weapons charges. He told police he was high and simply wanted to get away from them. Now it all makes sense. Sheriff's Deputy Harry Bermudez pulls over a reckless driver in a pickup truck in Melbourne, Florida.
The reason I'm stopping you? Because you were weaving in the roadway?
I was messing with the radio and the light, and I know that was probably a problem.
I don't need you to step to the firm up patrol car. Go ahead and set that.
The suspect is a fashion model, but at the moment she's in no shape to handle a runway. She can't even handle standing on the side of the road.
Can you stand right there?
Off camera, she falls into a water-filled ditch.
Careful. Tim, get out of the water. Give me your hand. Give me your arm.
Why is there water here?
Now she's plastered and plastered with mud, too.
Ma'am, how much have you had to drink tonight?
I had like 2 shots.
Only 2 shots of booze.
2 shots of an alligator bomb or something. I don't really know what.
Alligator bomb?
Yeah,
2 shots? What else?
that was it.
The officer finds that hard to believe.
Hi,
How much has she had to drink?
not very much.
Well, she just rolled in the mud there. Obviously, she's had a lot.
No, sir.
And what are you trying to tell me?
that she hasn't had much to drink. She's staggering drunk. Go ahead and just hold on to the truck. Hold on to the truck.
The officer sets up far away from the muddy ditch.
When I tell you to begin, you're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps. When you turn, you're going to keep
Hold on,
your...
you just want me to walk?
Hang on.
What?
You
And starts the field sobriety test.
And when I tell you to, you can begin, but hang on, hang on. You can try to count 9 steps. Go ahead and try.
It's not easy. In fact, it's not even possible.
Okay, you need to turn around and count 9 steps back.
I don't know how many times.
Go ahead and try to count 9 steps back. You can't do it holding on to me. Think you can do that?
Arrested for this warrant.
She had her chance.
Okay, you're under arrest for driving under the influence.
But this is a traffic stop that began in the mud.
Why is there water here?
And it's going to end tonight in a cell, the ideal place to dry out. Sunday.